And welcome back to Powerwash. Since my settings have been reset once again. Let me fix this. That's better. Okay. So I recently just got done trying to record a different game that I ended up not liking. So here we are. Back to the tried and true. Holy shit, that's very colourful. We'll say I was never really much of an Adventure Time person. Okay, so I've got Candy Washer and that. Green's my guy. Where do I want to start? How's that not dirty, but everything else is? I guess I cannot see up there. What a weird cutoff point. Oh. Tiny snail waving at me. I might start in here. Anyway, yeah. Ooh. I kind of like this texture though. It's different. So yeah, sorry about the long time no video after beating Chance of Sonar. Because I went looking for a new puzzle game. Didn't actually find one I liked because I'm waiting on Root Trees to go on sale hopefully sometime soon so I can buy that one. And I looked at the other one I mentioned before, like the Kingdom of Heaven, I think it was. And some of the reviews made me a bit not anxious, but can't remember the word I want to use right now. Just unsure, I guess. Be another way to say it. About whether or not it'd be a good fit for what I felt like. I found one that was purely language deciphering, but it was also a more technical language deciphering in Epigraph. I bought that one because it was only like $4 or something. But turns out I am not an etymologist. I'm not good with figuring out words based on shape and context clues like that. Sure, I could teach myself given enough time, but I didn't feel like going through all that. There we go. I was like, why isn't this doing it? That's why. Alright, sort of done. Let's get the boots while I'm looking at them. I guess this is a part of the same wall, it's not separate. But yeah, other than that, the game I just tried to play was Felion, but the dialogue mixed with the controls and how the game felt, which was just enough for me to go, nah, I'm good. Like it felt really sluggish, everything. From my own character's movement to opening her menu, to even the dialogue felt a bit sluggish and very forced, which is what it is. I did think about recording Directive 8020, the new Supermassive game, but then I remembered that in those sorts of games I do tend to look in every nook and cranny, which doesn't make for good viewing. And I do a light bit of save scumming to get certain results, especially when I'm just curious about what could happen. There's even a full mechanic for that in this game, where as soon as you make a choice, you can go back and choose the other option, or at any point in time, go back and choose the other option. But I turned that off for an achievement, because you get one for beating the game without using that mode. And so far, I have once decided to quickly quit out to save myself from a thing I knew would get a character killed. I just wanted to see what would happen. And then I have been playing Subnautica 2 as well, but that was never in contention for me to record because it's an early access game. And I don't like recording games like that have no set endpoint. Which is fine. I'm also, once again, not paying any attention to the text in the corner of the screen. They are just distractions from my game of cleaning. So I know I said I like the art style, but it's already getting a little bit tired, to be honest. So I might only record this job, and the others I'll just blitz through on my own. And the next episode won't be out until Star Wars DLC comes out. So yeah, life's been interesting. I already stopped therapy, not by my own choice. Not that I afford it, but therapist is like, well, I'm happy to leave it here. You seem to be doing all the right things. I'm like, cool. Good to know I was completely right about therapy and that it was a waste of time for me. At least with that particular therapist. 4 sessions. I got 4 sessions in. What am I missing? No. Is it that? It was, okay. But yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be how it ended because the conversation seemed to be doing absolutely nothing. So of course I know what to do. I'm not an idiot. No, 3. Yeah, 3 is the one I want. Like I'm making efforts to go out and be in person with the people I love. I'm making efforts to try new things. Like I'm still trying to persist with recording these and putting them out there. I'm doing my best to block out the intrusive thoughts. I keep my mind busy so I don't have time to dwell on them. if I'm not reading, I'm listening to music, and vice versa. But it just does not seem to be enough. But apparently there's nothing else that that therapist could do to help with that. And so my option is to try and go through the annoying process of finding a new one, or trying a new branch of therapy entirely. My GP months ago did give me a card to go try hypnotherapy. I'm tempted because I do know that hypnotherapy can work on me because I tried one of those random TikTok videos where they give you like a little crash course into what it is, and it's mostly about you letting it happen. Like, sure, some people won't be able to let it happen to them, but I can. It worked. I just don't know how effective it's going to be if they try and do more than just guided meditation. You know what the long-term help will be, because that felt very short-term. Alright, I think I got everything on the ceiling. But I think that's enough of that depressing talk. Let's try and talk more positive. Went and saw the Michael Jackson biopic just last week. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, it's not what a lot of people wanted it to be. It was very much more of a celebration than a deep dive into all the nitty gritty of his life. But for what it was, I really enjoyed it. It was at least a well put together movie. Like, I was talking to my friend who I went to go see it with about how the only other biopic I actually liked was the Bohemian Rhapsody. Because I tried watching the Elvis one. I got halfway through that before I had to stop because it was just such a, in my view, poor movie. I didn't watch the Elton John one because I'm not a big fan of Elton John. Been meaning to take a look into the Bob Dylan one just to see how it goes. Same with the Bruce Springsteen one. But, but yeah, I thought Michael Jackson was good. Like, Jafar did such a good job portraying Michael. The blood runs thick in that family. And you know, it's Michael Jackson music. It was always just going to be banger after banger after banger. And one thing I really did take note of was when it was the making of Thriller, and you just saw all his song titles on the wall as he was trying to pick the title of the album. And you go, man, Thriller really had nothing but hits. One of the best albums ever. It's like the only song that didn't get, or that I felt didn't get huge recognition was Pretty Young Thing off that album. Everything else seemed to be played constantly. Even then, it still got played a lot. So one point, me and my friend both found pretty funny is Miles Teller's first appearance in the movie. As a, like, legal representative for artists. Something about the makeup or the wig and just the whole look did not look right in that first scene. He looked fine afterwards in other scenes, but it was just that first scene that did not look good. And the only other gripe we had about the movie was the fact that it did only end halfway through his career. We just got him leaving the Jackson 5 as the finale. Like officially leaving for good. Of course we went and saw it in Lux because I'm a bougie bitch and only like seeing movies in Lux if I can help it. Lux is the premiere experience where it's like smaller theater with reclining chairs and seat service where they come to you. So you can order food and drink, get it delivered straight to you. You can do so throughout the movie, not just at the start. And it's made me want to go back and see more movies, but it's not anything I'm really like hankering to go see. Like Frank recommended I should really go see Project Hail Mary, but I'd probably honestly rather read it. It's just I have not read an actual book in I don't know how long still. Keep just jumping from lit RPG to cultivation to other fantasy genres on Railroad. But cultivation has taken a bit of a back burner because Railroad's not like the premier place for it. And most of the ones that are cultivation tick my criteria and my do not read, which is they use the title to give genres instead of just using the genre tags like normal people. Like, unless I'm actually desperate, I refuse to read anything that uses the tags or uses the title to genre tag. Because it makes me feel like, I think I've talked about this before, but yeah, it makes me feel like they're not confident in their own work. And if they're not confident in it, why should I bother reading it? It's like, oh, like it's even a rule that works a lot of the time because I still end up not like dropping lots of works on there that don't do that, like within the first 10 chapters or so, due to either poor writing, poor grammar, or just the general dislike for where the story is being taken, or the way it's being taken. That's still part of the same tree, isn't it? The most recent one I started reading and got up to that I actually will continue reading is a smut isekai. Guy's world had its own apocalypse. He was one of the few survivors and was eking out the rest of his days playing a romance fantasy game, or fantasy game with romance, I should say. And he had a thing for all the mums in the game that you couldn't romance in the prologue, because once the prologue ended, that was it. They were never seen from again. And so you got sent into that world. Into a time period a year before that part of the game happened. And into the body of an NPC, which apparently has all the ties to those three women that he really likes. I guess only been one volume, so one book's worth, and he's already slept with two of them. And he's also like not a kid; he's a 32-year-old NPC. I think he was even older back on Earth or whatever planet they were on. Didn't actually say, I don't think. So he's not like a tongue-tied newbie who's, you know, Deus Ex marketing his way into this. It shows a little bit of Deus Ex Machina with the fact that he's already got an in with all of them. He's the stepson of one. The other is the sister of his stepmom. And the third is a childhood friend who always had the hots for him. Just because she had his issues and he was his previous owner of the body did not care because he was fully alchemy focused. And also, it looks like this is a world that does not really care about steps, like step family being incestuous. Because even the one he hasn't slept with, which is his stepmom, seems to have some untoward thoughts towards him. Yet to be acted upon because he's being a gentleman about it. It's just not trying to hide the fact that he's trying to get with all of them. He's like straight up, like, you know, there's three people I want, and it's you three. To the two you slept with already. So, you know, smart, like I said. But so far it's good. Because I also find that a lot of smart novels tend to have really good world building. And so far that stays true with this one. Like the world he's in has monsters and such that only certain people are able to power up by eating. And the prerequisite for that to happen in that world is that the person who birthed you had to have been attacked by one of these monsters while they were pregnant. Bit of a convoluted way to get it done, but hey, it works. It also hasn't been relevant too much in the story yet, but the protagonist of the game is also around. So we'll see where that leads, if anything. Because obviously the protagonist isn't able to do anything with his mum, so he's not worried about that. He's more worried about the story consequences of why the starting village they're in gets obliterated. Or village. It is like medieval type society, but it's a town that's adjacent to a bunch of like there's like a dungeon, there's different layers of society or something along those lines. Like, I'm not the best at reading the cues of how the city's built up, even if it was described, which I don't think it was. But that's fine. It's enough for me to enjoy it. Yeah, you go over here, I don't want you. was the one I just started reading as well, because I finished that one, got up with that one today. The Spellforged Magus. This is a mana and system comes to the world after an apocalypse event. In this case, intergalactic criminal was killed and subsequently bled all over Earth. The blood causing mana to arrive and mutate and kill a bunch of people. Not mutate in the become a mutant type of way, but mutate in the gain powers kind of way. It seems. So about 30% of the world was off because of that. Mention these types of stories is not a whole lot. But yeah, I'm only a couple chapters in that. Oh, I'm one chapter into that one, so we'll see how that goes. So far, it's alright. It's like written by someone who I've read their other work, and I'm still reading it as it updates. 13, 4, 15. Do I have to get a 20? Come on. Oh my god, really? Hey, close enough. I'm still struggling with watching new things. Like so far, it's just been more YouTube shows. By shows, I mean gameplay and Smosh for the most part. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Is that an actual picture in the show that's nude? It's like a couple of anime I thought about watching, like Witch Hat Atelier and Burn That Witch. But so far, it hasn't been pressing enough for me to want to watch. Oh, Bimo. Didn't realize you were here. Ah, so I can pet the calculator. Good to know. And other than anime, there's not really been anything I've wanted to watch series-wise. There's a couple of movies I wouldn't mind seeing. The only one that's coming to mind right now is The Gorge, with Miles Teller and Anna Taylor-Joy. Because it seems like a decent once-off movie. A little bit of romance, a little bit of action, a little bit of suspense. But the last I went looking for it, it was only on Amazon. So that's why I have not watched it, but it might be on Netflix now. Or even Disney Plus, so we'll see. I can always check Stan as well, see if they've got it. Stan is the Australian streaming service, by the way, for those that might not know. Pretty sure it's Australian anyway. Could be wrong now, but I vaguely remember seeing it advertised as such when I first got it. Used to be a really good show on there called Zombie. I think it was a CW show. But it was one of those detective procedurals, but the main character is a zombie who gets the memories and personality of whoever's brain she eats. And yes, zombies eat brains in that. What am I missing? Couch armrest. Oh. No, not that one. This one? Yes. Yep. Tab. Floor. Wall branch. I'm missing a wall branch. Okay. You. Yep. Okay. Entrance. I am missing a hat. I'm missing the stove. And now it's just the floor. Cool. Oh, I've also wanted to watch Skull Island for a while. The remake of it. Because I've seen Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla and Kong vs. Mecha. Yeah, I've also watched War of Monsters with King Ghidorah. I think it's called Godzilla 2, maybe. So I watched that Godzilla as well, the original, the remakes. I like giant monster movies. They're dumb fun. But yeah, only good time, hopefully. This is a nice, short and sweet one. So thanks for keeping me company, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.